When I'm stuck, I try to draw inspiration from people who have been there before me. But how many people have been in the video games industry for as long as I have and have not achieved everything that they wanted to achieve already? Very few, I would suspect. I'm not aware of any. So I ask friends. The older the better, generally, because what I'm doing is not rational. I've been talking about simplifying, starting with first principles, making something fun. And so with that in mind, I've been experimenting with monochrome graphics, dithering, which is what I'm doing all the time, frankly. And that looks quite nice and stark, monochrome dithering. So it's worth exploring. I've been experimenting with a play date because it's such a simple, straightforward system. There's only so much you can do, and you're already limited to a monochrome screen. But here's the thing. I've never really made a game that I think is really good, ever. And I really don't know if I ever can. And so, rather than trying to make something original, I should just be trying to make something fun. And not something that other people would necessarily find fun. As Matt Hall, one of my favourite people in the industry, once said, make the game for one other person. Who would you make this game for? Well, I really don't have a target in mind. I did for a while think about this notional target, which I encapsulated in a series of Dancing Monkeys posts called No Content for Old Men, which of course doesn't preclude women or anyone else for that matter, but it's just a play on the film name. You know the one, No Country for Old Men. So the premise of my idea was that there are few, if any, games for people of my age who have more, I don't want to say refined, just different tastes. I don't want to be patronized by a game. I know video games, so I don't need to sit through a glorified tutorial because it's a waste of my time. The older you get, the less patience you have because you know what you like, you want more of that. That can, in some cases, make you boring, but I play video games because I want to be entertained. If they're artistic, that's a bonus. So, what am I going to make? Well, I still think it starts with the idea of Chimera as a basis, because there were some ideas in there that I think are worth exploring. So, science fiction, room-based, because that makes everything a lot easier to plan. Stark, simple graphics, atmospheric, particularly with the audio. That was always very important to me. And with an air of tension. But I would also like some parts in the game where that tension can be resolved and have a bit more in the way of dynamic range, if you like. So still a lot of fluff, right? I still really haven't got something. But I think it starts with, putting some brushstrokes on the canvas. I don't know where this is going to go. I have to feel my way forwards. This is not what I'd advise a young developer. I have the luxury of being able to experiment and start to put brushstrokes on the canvas. But I know that if I was advising someone on a commercial basis, this is not what I would be advising them to do. So don't worry, I'm not saying this is necessarily the right approach for you if you're a young up-and-coming developer. I will take one piece of advice that I commonly give to developers, which is write what you know. And I know science fiction, and I know atmosphere. So that's what I'm going to go for. Yeah, got to keep moving forward. Just got to keep at it. A bit at a time. This is not going to be over quickly. I will not enjoy this.